I think my number one message is to think through things from a first principles point of view. So see the farm and the soil as an ecosystem. We have the chemistry and we all know a fair bit about the chemistry, but it's also got living things and plants growing in it, and if we think of it in those first principle terms of a whole system, we can make better management decisions.
When you look into soil, it's one of the most biodiverse, rich biological community on the earth. It's even more diversified than tropical rainforests, and there's more diversity in the soil than anywhere else on the planet.
If we go back 460 million years to when plants moved from the ocean to the land, in order to colonise land, plants needed to form a symbiotic relationship with fungi, and in particular with mycorrhizal fungi, and they behaved as the surrogate roots. 80% of land plants still have that relationship with mycorrhizal fungi, and then those fungi are associated with a whole lot of other things in the soil food web, particularly the bacteria, the organisms that, you know, they solubilise phosphorus, they fix nitrogen. They're like the key things that make things available, but there is a network of mycorrhizal fungi that feed carbon to those bacteria. So there's a relationship not only between plants and fungi, but between fungi and bacteria.
These microbes gets the energy from the plants, and in return it provides plant growth promotions, helps in plant growth, helps the nutrients that's available which is otherwise unavailable for the plants, and also it plays an important role in soil structure, water retention, erosion, and bioremediation. And also, very importantly, they colonize the root zone with a good bacteria. It helps in suppression of disease-causing bacteria.
In avocados, it's actually recommended practice to mulch, and that's to control Phytophthora. What it does is the organisms that break down the cellulose in the mulch attack the Phytophthora, and it also stops them sporulating as well, so producing the spores that attack the roots of the avocado trees.
When we think about agricultural aspects and for long-term sustainable productivity, this relationship has to be cherished.
We know that plants can't grow without nitrogen, we know they can't grow without phosphorus. I suppose when we first started using those things, we didn't realise how detrimental they were going to be to soils, and they're detrimental not so much in themselves. Adding nitrogen to soil itself is that's not a detrimental thing to do. What it's actually doing is switching off the communication between plants and mycorrhizal fungi, because mycorrhizal fungi bring phosphorus to plants, and if you apply phosphorus then they don't need to signal to the fungi to form a relationship with the plant, so they don't channel any carbon to the soil, so the soil loses structure. You're not looking after the bacteria, etc., which depend on the fungi, and the whole soil food web basically breaks down when you apply either nitrogen or phosphorus. So when we start to see all those lovely aggregates forming and those kinds of things, we know that the biology is doing its work, and it probably doesn't matter if we don't know what the names of the things are.
Every plant, every animals and human beings needs nutrition to grow. So there's nothing wrong with the nutrients, but you got to choose the right form of nutrients, and we got to find a balance, not to overdo it or not to have too little of anything. So the soil testings and things comes in handy to make a very pragmatic decision to how much nutrition for that particular crop.
Where nutrients have been shown to be there through leaf or soil testing, we will actually use products, biological or soil amendments, to improve and basically grease the axle of that mineralisation cycle. I do dig a lot of holes, and we are constantly digging in the soil to determine what's going on in the crop. Core down to a metre, we're just having a look at soil colour, soil texture, soil smell.
It's just not picking a product from a shelf, a biological product, and putting it into a farm. It's more of a systems approach. It includes things like crop rotation, ground cover, using more mineral-based fertilizers, minimal till or no-till kind of practices, and also using very less harmful chemical fertilizers, and allowing the biology and the microbes in the soil to interact with the plants to give a better sustainable agricultural output.
What it is that we have to do is look after the biology in the soil, then the plants will be fine.